Well, hi, girls.
Oh, God. You look exactly how I knew you would.
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're looking at the incredible story behind Dolly Parton's rise to superstardom.
I figure if I'm going to be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, I'm going to have to earn it.
Childhood. Dolly Rebecca Parton was born in 1946 to an extremely poor sharecropper and homemaker in rural Appalachian Tennessee. She was the fourth of 12 children, and at the time, the family lived in a one-room cabin on the banks of the Little Pigeon River.
We were very poor, but we were rich, as my mama said, in the things that matter, like in kindness and love and understanding. So it just depends on what you call wealth and success.
Parton's father, Robert Lee Parton Sr., famously paid the doctor who delivered Dolly with a sack of cornmeal. Later, the family moved to a two-room cabin in Sevierville, Tennessee, which had no electricity or running water. Parton came from a musical family. Her mother often sang the ancient Welsh ballads of her ancestors to the children, and her grandfather was a fiddle player and songwriter.
Remember how we used to sit here on this porch, all of us?
Oh, yeah, I sang and young and cry.
Daddy always said you were the best singer of any of us in the whole bunch.
Well,
You
he
still
done
think
that. He done that so I wouldn't burn his cornbread.
Parton started singing in church at the age of 6 and began playing the guitar at 7. She made her first instrument herself using the strings of old bass guitars and the body of a mandolin, until her uncle and future songwriting partner Bill Owens gifted her a guitar at the age of 8. In her autobiography, Parton recalls that she wrote her first song at age 6. It was about a doll her mother made her out of a corn cob, with corn silk for hair.
And my Uncle Bill Owens, one of my mother's brothers, used to take me around because he just thought I was special. And he'd take me around to sing on local radio and TV shows.
You were little bitty.
Yeah, I started when I was about 10, singing on radio and TV.
Early career. Parton recorded her first record, Puppy Love, at age 12, and by the time she was a teenager, she was performing regularly on local radio and television shows. She made her debut at the Grand Ole Opry at just 13 years old, where she was thrilled to be introduced by none other than Johnny Cash.
Johnny Cash was my first encounter with what I thought sex appeal was, feeling really drawn to someone. I mean, I saw him on stage and I just felt things that I'd never felt before.
Right. In 1962, Parton and Bill Owens co-signed a songwriting deal with Tree Publishing. Owner Buddy Killen also arranged for Parton to record 2 demo songs with Mercury Records, It's Sure Gonna Hurt and I Wasted My Tears When I Cried Over You. Unfortunately, the songs failed to take off on the radio, and Parton made the difficult decision to return home and finish high school. However, she moved back to Nashville the day after she graduated. Her first few months there were difficult, and with almost no money, she often went hungry before she finally signed a songwriting deal with Combine Publishing. She and Uncle Bill wrote a number of songs for other artists during this time, including 2 songs recorded by singer Bill Phillips, which became top 10 hits. She also met her future husband, Carl Dean, at a laundromat the same year.
I had no intentions of finding a boyfriend. I just wanted to work on my music. I didn't want no boys, no men, or anybody sidetracking me. So what do? Very first day.
Success as a singer. Parton's deal with Combine eventually led to a recording contract with Monument Records. The label insisted on marketing her as a pop singer rather than a country singer, thinking her voice was better suited to the pop genre. However, her pop songs never took off, and Monument finally gave in and agreed to let her start recording country music.
Just because I'm blonde, don't think I'm dumb, 'cause this dumb blonde ain't nobody's fool.
She found immediate success with her first country single, Dumb Blonde, which rose to number 24 on the charts. In 1967, she joined the Porter Wagoner Show, where she and Wagoner often performed duets together.
I believe we have the right combination.
Despite their contentious relationship, over the next 6 years, the two recorded one top 10 hit after another. Parton later described it as, quote, the hardest and worst period of her life, but also the most creatively prolific.
And Porter and I went at it all the time. We were like brother and sister. But, we were very prosperous together and very productive, and we sang great together. Our voices blended.
Parton's solo career took off during this time, and her first #1 solo hit, Joshua, was released in early 1971. Parton quit Wagoner Show in 1974 and recorded I Will Always Love You to commemorate their time together.
Oh, but above all of this, I wish you love.
She famously wrote the song and another mega hit, Jolene, in one sitting in 1973. The following year, Parton won Female Vocalist of the Year at the Country Music Awards. Later, Wagoner sued her, claiming that since he had given her her big break, she owed him a portion of her earnings for life. To avoid a difficult battle in court, she settled with him for $1 million, despite not having that amount of money at the time.
Dolly and Porter buried the hatchet and even had a little fun with their feud in a 1995 roast.
People have said that me and Porter fought over creative differences, and that's true. I was creative and Porter was different.
Pop career. In the mid-1970s, Parton decided to try her hand at pop music again. Her first crossover album, New Harvest, First Gathering, made it to #1 on the country charts, and although it eventually went platinum, it only reached number 72 on the pop charts.
Like an eagle, I am eager for the sky.
Her next album, Here You Come Again, was more successful, climbing to number 20 on the pop charts, with the top single reaching number 3. That album earned Parton her first Grammy for Best Country Vocal Performance. Parton was already well-known on the country music scene, but she shot to true superstardom during this era.
I want to be a star, a universal star. I would like to be a superstar. I guess all people dream of that. So in order to be a superstar, you can't be just a superstar in one area. That means you have to appeal to a majority of people.
She made a number of high-profile TV appearances, including a famously unfiltered interview with Barbara Walters. On Valentine's Day 1979, Parton and Carol Burnett starred in a TV special to promote Parton's new album, Heartbreaker.
First you gotta have heart. Last you gotta have heart.
1980s through the 2000s. Parton kicked off this era with a bang by starring in her first feature film, 9 to 5, in 1980. In this workplace comedy, which many modern critics consider to be years ahead of its time, she proved she could hold her own on the big screen alongside co-stars Jane Fonda and Lily Tomlin. She also received her first Oscar nomination and a couple of Grammys for the movie's theme song, which she wrote and recorded. Parton would go on to star in a number of other movies throughout the 80s, 90s, and 2000s, some more successful than others. In 1986, she bought a stake in a small eastern Tennessee amusement park called Silver Dollar City, which was then renamed to Dollywood.
It's kind of like my little poor man's version of Disneyland, I guess, but not poor because it cost us a fortune. It just seems country compared to the fantasy, but it does have its own country fantasy, I guess you could say.
In addition to the park, the Dollywood Company now oversees a water park, multiple resorts and spas, and dinner theaters. In 1999, Parton expanded her musical repertoire to include bluegrass with the album The Grass is Blue, which of course won a Grammy for Best Bluegrass Album. She followed it up with Little Sparrow in 2001 and Halos and Horns in 2002. Around the age that many Americans start thinking about retirement, Parton started her own record label, Dolly Records. She earned her first Tony nomination in 2009 for the score of 9 to 5 the Musical, which premiered on Broadway the same year.
You got a little more freedom to write basically what you think the character's feeling and knowing, and however that turns out, it can be longer, it can be shorter, so it actually got to be fun, and I had fun just being all the different characters.
Philanthropy. In recent years, Dolly Parton has become just as beloved for her incredible generosity as she is for her unmatched talent and tenacity. She's given a staggering amount of money to charitable causes, including hundreds of thousands of dollars to hospitals and medical research, the American Red Cross, and HIV/AIDS research. Though she typically avoids talking politics, she's been an open advocate for LGBTQ+ rights and a beloved friend of the queer community for decades.
We are who we are. If you're gay, you're gay. If you're straight, you're straight. And you should be allowed to be, how you are and who you are.
Following the Great Smoky Mountains wildfires in 2016, her Dollywood Foundation donated over $12.5 million to families affected by the disaster. In 2020, she gave $1 million to Vanderbilt University Medical Center, which helped fund the development of the Moderna COVID-19 vaccine. She even reimagined her classic hit Jolene to celebrate getting her first dose and to encourage others to do the same.
Vaccine, 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 vaccine. 'Cause once you're dead, then that's a bit too late.
Perhaps her most well-known philanthropic endeavor is her literacy project, Dolly Parton's Imagination Library. Founded in 1995 to honor her father, who was illiterate, the program sends a free book every month to children up to age 5. It's now working in 5 countries and has donated over 200 million books to children in need. For this work to promote literacy, she has received many awards, including an honorary doctorate from the University of Tennessee, Knoxville.
It is my honor to present to you Dolly Parton for the degree Doctor of Humane and Musical Letters.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Today, no matter her age, Dolly Parton shows no signs of slowing down. She continues to write, sing, record albums, and appear on TV, not to mention manage her many business ventures.
And you can't just leave them there. You can't just say, oh, my dreams come true and I'm walking out of here. No, you got to be responsible for that, to show you're grateful for that, and to show that you're not going to just leave that in the hands of other people. So I'm going to be right there till I fall over dead.
She's published multiple books, including a thriller that she co-wrote with James Patterson called Run, Rose, Run, released in 2022. She even recorded a brand new album to accompany it. In November 2022, she was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, an honor that many considered to be long overdue.
I've been rockin', rockin', rockin' since the day I was born. I'll be rockin' till the day I'm gone.
The following year, she released her first rock album, Rockstar. The record features new songs, covers of classic rock songs, and team-ups with a host of music legends, including Elton John, Joan Jett, Paul McCartney, Ringo Starr, and Pat Benatar. The same year, she released 2 more books and an Apple podcast series. She also gave an extremely memorable performance at the halftime show of the Washington-Dallas Thanksgiving Day game, dressed as a Cowboys cheerleader. And she's still testing out new business opportunities, such as expanding the Dollywood Company and releasing her own line of cookware and home goods. Although she's no longer touring, she has said that she never plans to retire, and those words are music to every Dolly fan's ears.
That I'm as old as yesterday, but I'm as new as tomorrow. So I've got lots of stuff, hopefully, to do.
Which part of Dolly Parton's story inspires you the most? Let us know in the comments below.
I'm kind of addicted to the feeling of giving and knowing that I'm doing something good for someone else.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MsMojo. And be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.